Hi guys, welcome and welcome to There Is Still Hope. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you for tuning in. Well, if you are new to my channel, my name is Ndalenga and I'll be your host. Ndalenga is the founder of There Is Still Hope, and at There Is Still Hope we give hope by encouraging each other to move away from past sorrows, places of defeat, places of discouragement, places that might have caused us to lose ourselves and turn into people that we don't even recognize. Literally saying you can still get up, dust off and heal and live a life that matters. So if you are new to There Is Still Hope, please do subscribe, share and like and become part of There Is Still Hope family. Please stay tuned. Well guys, as you can see, I am not alone today. I have someone else, that will mean a different story, a different journey. Somebody else to glorify the name of the Lord and just to tell us his story, where he has been, what he has been through, and who he is today after he met the Lord Jesus Christ. Of course, every heart has a story, a journey, perhaps through pain, through darkness, whatever it is that they have encountered that might have labeled them as not having it all together. But then there comes a time where you have met the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the light, and he changes everything. When we hear of he's a God that gives beauty for ashes, that's what we mean. He finds darkness and he brings his light and everything takes a different turn. So today we are about to hear somebody's story, perhaps about how he has gone through the fire, how he has been through the darkness, but at the end of the day, how he stumbled across the Lord Jesus Christ and he brought light to his life. This is literally what we're talking about. Welcome to There Is Still Hope. Thank you so much for having this episode with me. Thank you for believing in the vision. Thank you for availing yourself. I'm so excited. I would love to know, who is Pastor John? What has he been through? What made him to come to the Lord Jesus Christ? Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello viewers. My name is Pastor John SHAKELLA, and I'm from Windhoek. Yes, so I'm a pastor at the Rise Prophetic Ministry International, and I'm a man of God. Yes.
Wow. Pastor John, once again, thank you for joining me and welcome to There Is Still Hope. Well, before we get into the details of your testimony, we want to know, we want to know where you're from. Not only the struggles, but we also want to know your background, your roots. Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about your growing up.
Okay. So I was born at the village, Angwena region. And then I moved to Windhoek in, I think, 1991 or so. I grew up with my dad in Windhoek, in Vamba location. And yes, prior to coming to my dad, I was staying with my paternal and maternal grandmothers. Yeah, so those are two villages that are close to each other. So those are the people that shaped me. Okay. Yeah, but most of my upbringing was done by my father. Okay. Yeah, I grew up with my father here. So yeah, that is the person that I say I spend most of my life with. He will know me in and out. Yeah, so that's my father.
Okay, tell us about your upbringing. How was it? Tell us about the environment, the people that shaped your environment, your upbringing. How was it growing up at home?
Okay. I grew up in a very loving home. I grew up with my father, as I said, and he had a wife at home, and with sisters, with brothers. Okay. Yeah, so it was an environment that was full of love, an environment where we were shaped by good values, an environment where we were encouraged to work hard, an environment where we were told, maybe not so much in a religious environment, if I may say, but it was one that was conservative. We were told what is right and what is wrong.
Principles.
All the principles were laid down there. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned that you grew up with your dad. Would you like to tell us about your mother?
Okay. My mother, she passed on Way back. Yeah, I think, 1993, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, in 1993.
Do you remember how old you were?
I was about to 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 9 years old when she passed on.
Okay.
Yes.
But who played the mother role
In my life.
in your life?
Okay, so at first it was my paternal grandparents. They are the ones, especially the one from my father's side. Yeah, well, so what would happen is both my parents, they came to the city while I was at the village. So when they come, then I would visit maybe my mother, if my paternal grandmother is the one that was the mother figure in my life.
Okay.
And then when I started school, I moved to Windhoek. And I stayed with my father, who's a disciplinarian. Yeah, so he would lay ground rules at home. This must not be done. This must be done, and so forth. He's not really a person of many religious convictions, but he's more on morality. What is right, what is wrong is wrong. And whenever you transgress, he will give you Mr. Black. Yeah, so there was always consequences for disobeying what he said. Okay. At some point in my life, during high school, I went to stay with my sister. And I think this was the turning point of me being the sweet, innocent boy to somebody that was now involved in smoking cigarettes. And eventually it also graduated to smoking cannabis drugs. Yeah, so what happened is my sister was smoking and she would leave her cigarette packs at home. So when I come from school, I would find them and I would try them out. Just out of curiosity, what do these adults, what do they see in these things? And that is how I started smoking.
Okay.
Before I knew it, I was buying cigarettes for myself. And later I became hooked.
Okay.
That by then I was probably 18 years old.
When you were staying with your sister?
Yes, I was probably 18
Before we
years
get
old.
into that,
Yes.
tell us about your father that had so much principles and rules
Yes.
that was laid. Have you always been the one that obeyed or the one that disobeyed?
Well, one really had no choice because he's a man. And if you break the rules, he'll beat you. But growing up at my father's place, there weren't a lot of disturbances really.
Okay.
So he would discipline you perhaps for not doing the plates. Yeah, he would discipline you for washing your clothes half. He would discipline you for not raking the yard. So it was more the normal things that a normal parent would discipline a child for. Yeah. But when it would be severe on us because we are men like him. Yeah, but I think looking back, it was really what shaped me into a disciplined person, I can say.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you the only child growing up at home?
No. I actually had a bigger brother.
Okay.
I had 2 smaller sisters.
Okay.
I had bigger sisters, but they left at some point. Yeah, and we had a mother at home as well. Yeah, my father's wife. And no, the house was always, and some relatives, extended family as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the streets growing up,
Yeah.
the environment.
The streets. Typically, anyone that comes from Vambo location, from the streets, they groom you. The streets teach you whether you want it or not, especially as a male child. So growing up in the street, you had to become smart. You had to know how it is, how things play out in the streets. How to know who calls the shots in the streets, to know whom to respect and whom not to disrespect. Yeah, and it was more, you would observe things on a daily basis where people will be mugged. Somebody's cell phone will be taken. So one would be stabbed. Those were common things that we would see. alcohol abuse at a young age. People were drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't much into drinking. I was more somebody that was hooked on cannabis. So alcohol was not really my thing growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, but in Vambo location, it really tames you to become like the environment, because else people are going to make fun of you, call you a sissy, call you a mohu, as they say. So you had to adjust. You had to adjust. There would be times if you would see, I'm still wearing my All-Stars up to today, even though I'm a pastor. So that is one of the things that we were raised like that. Would wear my All-Star, wear your Dickies probably. You want to fit in. You want to look like everybody else. You can't look like an outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the streets.
It has formed part of your identity.
It has formed part of my identity, so it is who I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Life without Jesus sometimes feels like a song out of tune. Very loud, but really empty. It's a life of distraction. It's a life of disobedience. It's a life of, I want to do as I want. This is my life. I call the shots. But at the end of the day, leading to destruction. Full of struggles, but the truth is, there is the hand of Jesus that is always ready to redeem.
Yes.
So we want to understand your story. Where did Jesus Christ pull you from?
Well, first of all, maybe I must explain that even without Jesus, we were brought up at school. Back then in the days, we had what you call Bible studies at school.
Okay.
So we knew that there was Jesus, but I didn't have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
So a life without a relationship with Jesus was one that was marked by always asking God, Lord, why did you take my mother at such a young age? I always felt empty, I always felt, especially when I moved now to Windhoek and I started staying with my father, that Lord, where is the mother figure in my life?
Yeah.
And then it comes to the environment itself. It was a life where you are even trained into things like pickpocketing. It's a life where you are taught how to insult on the streets. Yeah.
Before we get into that, tell us about how it made you feel whenever you felt like, I just need my mother now. We all have those moments, even us who still have our mothers. There are just those stages in life where you feel like, right now, I want my mother. What did you do? Whom did you run to? Who gave you that comfort?
Well, as I said, my mother died when I was very young. I was 9 years old. So you won't believe it even if I tell you that I didn't even shed a tear when my mother died. I went, looked at the body in the casket, and I never shed any tear. Because to me, back then, to see somebody dead was something very rare in the days. So the first funeral that I ever attended was for my mother. So I didn't understand. In fact, I was still praying even after she was buried that she would just appear from nowhere and still come and greet me, still come and show me that love, I didn't understand what death was. So after reality started to hit, I would seldom lock myself in the toilet. Just look in the mirror and just start crying. More especially if somebody mistreats me, then I would feel if my mother was alive, I could go to her now. So I would just be in the room. Then I would be crying up until I feel better, and then I will go out. Yeah, so that is how I'm not somebody that used to speak out.
Okay.
Yeah, I would keep it to myself, cry in the toilet and go out, and that's it, and then I'll leave it there. Yes.
Okay. The environment?
Well, the environment, it was a bit tough growing up in Vambo location, as I said, because of the things that you see around.
Yeah.
People are insulting at times. This one is into crime.
Yeah.
even people that you know immediately, maybe people that you look up to, the things that they are doing, they are carrying okapis around, they are drinking, you know. So, but even in that space of darkness, I still thank God that it didn't take me up totally at that point in time, but it was more when I grew up that I became assimilated into the things that they were doing.
Okay.
So it was more from a distance at first, but later as you grow up, because when you are small, you are confined to the house too much. You just observe from far.
Yeah.
But as you are growing up, you tend to go out.
Yeah.
And that is where it starts having a toll on you.
Okay.
Yeah, but still though, I thank God that what kept me sane was the fact that I never wanted to disappoint my father.
Okay.
Because he was now like the father and the mother at the same time. And he was already an elderly man. He was, there's like a gap of, say, 49 years between me and my father. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
So that made sure that I was always attentive to my school.
Okay.
And I actually got really good grades during my schooling career. Okay. So at some point when that dawned on me that I need to make the most of my life, it kept me going and it kept me disciplined. It kept me from so many things. Besides the drugs that caught up with me, there were so many things that I avoided. Yeah, just because I didn't want to disappoint my father.
You
Yes.
actually mentioned that at some point you got hooked to smoking.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did it start?
So, my sister used to leave her cigarettes at home. So I started smoking them. Craven A, Vogue, those female, the cigarettes that females like smoking.
Okay.
Those ones with a mint. So I started on those. And at some point I started buying my own.
Okay.
Now at school I would also sneak some out. I would steal some from her pack and take them along to school.
Okay.
To go and smoke with my friend that I know smokes.
Okay.
Little did I know that my friend also smokes cannabis.
Okay.
So it
At
was
school? Was it at school?
Yes, at school.
Okay.
So in 2001 exactly, we were doing what you call the National Population and Housing Census.
Okay.
So in that year, it was the grade 11s that were chosen to be the ones that are running everything.
Yeah.
We were the enumerators. We were the ones taking the data.
Okay.
Yes. So we were kept at a hostel, a school hostel, and that is exactly where it started. Yeah, because we were now out of the control of our parents. We were on our own.
Yes.
So we had a lot of time. We were confined to that environment, I think, for, if I'm not mistaken, 2 months. So that is where it started. After classes, we would go out, stay in Commersdal. Then we would be smoking now. Smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, drinking black labels.
Sure.
Yeah. That is how it started. And at some point, I became hooked. It started to be an occasional thing. But later it's an everyday thing. I would smoke before I go to school. I would smoke after school. We would sometimes even bunk classes to go and smoke.
So it was a group of people?
It was a group of us. It was
But where did you get it from?
These guys that were already smoking know the people that are selling. It was readily available. It's not something that you struggle. They would not even say you are school kids, you are wearing uniform, I can't sell you.
They would sell.
As long as you have the money, the $5, it was $5 by then. You just give the $5, they will give you. So we would walk around with telephone directories in our school bags. And that is now the paper that you use to roll the joint. Yeah, you mix it with a little bit of cigarettes, you roll it, and then you smoke.
Sure.
Yes.
Where did you get the money from? Of course, you were not working by the time. You were a learner.
Yeah.
How did you fund that lifestyle of
cannabis? Here and there you would get some pocket money, maybe from my sister, from somebody. But most of the time at school, we would pickpocket.
Okay.
Yeah, we would steal the people's calculators, and they were Casio calculators. They are quite expensive. We would take their money, or we would make copies of the key for the classes.
Sure.
So when people are going to assembly, we are here in the classes and ransacking the whole class, checking in the bags, whatever we can find. I remember there was a point we even found a 3310 Nokia cell phone, and it just came in. We sold it for $1,999, $2,000.
Sure.
And for some days we were really sorted. Yeah, we would buy by then a crate of Castle Lager or Black Label, because Tafel were not really that common with young people. We would drink Castle Lager or Black Label by then. It was just $60. So you can imagine a young person having $2,000 to spend. Yeah.
How did you behave when you took these substances?
Funny enough, we were not violent people.
So you did not abuse it?
No, we did. To abuse the drugs, we did. But I think it's because we stayed with our parents, so there was some sort of control.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to act as normal as possible when you are at home. Yeah. So if you know that I'm not fine, you will not go home. You would probably go and lie at a friend's place, or just be hanging around up until you say now, okay, now I'm fine. Can wash my face and go home now. Yes.
So your father never knew that
No,
you were taking these
he
substances?
never knew. He never knew. Up until one day, there was a day I went and bought a cigarette, and I went to smoke behind the house. Now I forgot that my father's window is actually, he can see me through the window.
Okay.
And he just stood there watching me. There's a curtain, so I can't see inside. He watched me smoke up until I finished. Then I came back inside. Then he told me, do you smoke cigarettes? I said, no, Dad. I was watching you. And then I remembered, oh, you are an expert. So how long have you been smoking?
Sure.
He didn't even beat me. He just said, you must stop. Because my father was a smoker himself back then in the years, before I was even born. But he stopped before I was even born. Yeah. So
were there times that you would want to smoke, like you said you were hooked, that you don't have the funds to actually buy these substances? What did you do?
Not really. Not really. Because if I don't have, my friend has.
Okay.
And it was quite cheap. We call it a barley. That time there was no things that they are saying now, apparently skunk, and there was only what you call Deben poison. Yeah, and it was quite big, and it's $5. So $5 was not something that was difficult to get. Yeah, and cigarettes by then I think they were probably $1 or less than that. Yeah, it was quite cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was even 70, 80 cents. Yes.
Did smoking ever hinder your school?
Yeah, I can say yes.
How did it do that?
You know, God has given me the grace, especially academically, to excel. I could read before I went to school.
Okay.
I could read before I went to school. I was homeschooled by a cousin of mine.
Okay.
And I was always an A grade top student, number 1, number 2 in class, always. But when I came to high school and I started the drugs, there was even a time that because of the drugs, we were suspended from school.
Okay.
That was in grade 12. And I had all my 6 subjects on HIGCSE. So I had to drop 3, and I didn't go to school for about 3 months. Because the condition was that you'll only return to school if you bring your parents to school. And now I can't tell my dad or my sister that I'm suspended from school because of drugs. Yeah. So because of that, I couldn't go to school for 3 months. Now you can imagine, you don't take homework, you are not involved in the classwork. So what I would do is, that time I'm staying with my sister, I would bath in the morning, put on my school uniform and go out as she is going to work. When she's gone, I come back, but
So
she
you were
doesn't know.
You were pretending you're going to school.
I'm pretending that I'm going to school, but I'm actually not going to school.
You would come back.
I would come
Did
back.
she ever get to find out? And how did
She never found out. Because I would now go, when exams were near, I would go to the hostel. I would go to the hostel and just try to get some summaries from the children that are attending. And I didn't do that bad, really. In fact, in my grade 12, I got very good points as well. Yeah, but all this is just because of the grace of God.
Yeah.
But if it was really my own effort, I don't think I could even pass grade 12. Yeah, it's just the doing of God.
It's just the doing of the Lord.
Yes.
Tell us about the girls
Ladies,
growing up.
growing up, I was actually a very shy guy.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, as a teenager, your hormones will start to kick in, and this is where you grow up and you will start having things like wet dreams and, and stuff. But then, whenever I show interest in a girl and she shows interest back, I become agitated. I actually start hating her more than she.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So the title pastor is not one that just started now. I was actually called pastor by my sisters already because I was big. They're saying you are having long legs and you are still playing street soccer with the kids, you know. So I didn't really have ladies at school growing up.
Okay.
It's something that I learned after school.
Yeah, so that was not really a problem.
No,
for
it
you.
was
The
just
problem
drugs.
for you was actually smoking
It was just smoking.
and not even alcohol.
Not really alcohol. I would drink, but it was occasionally. Yes, but drugs, is cannabis, yeah, was the problem.
What did you do to try stopping?
Well, there would be times when you will just feel, okay, I don't want to smoke anymore.
Yeah.
Because most probably, and I think one of the first attempts was because my father found out.
Okay.
And I said, okay, because my father found out, now I'm not going to smoke anymore. But you would stop for one day, the next day you are smoking again. Yeah, because the association, the friends, the people that are my friends, they are smoking. And they would laugh at you if you are not smoking and call you a sissy, and nobody wants to be called a sissy. So just say,
You actually wanted to belong.
Yes, we wanted to belong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listening to your story, you had a good dad,
Yes.
you know, who really did his part.
Yes.
But however, as children, we'll always find our way
Yes.
to doing what we shouldn't do. But nonetheless, we serve a God that redeems. We serve a God that transforms. We serve a God that turn around a story and rewrite it to such a point where you look back and just wonder, how did I get here? Tell us, at what point did you meet the Lord Jesus Christ? What were you going through before you met the Lord Jesus Christ? Tell us, how did you meet him?
In 2012, I was now deep in the world. Up until I was involved in a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah. So this accident I was involved in is one that I could just say that where I saw the hand of the Lord
Yeah.
firsthand.